Hi, people. Welcome back to the GyalDem City podcast, mixed with the ManDem United. Today, I've got JV with me. You can catch him on his socials below his picture, and same for me. Today, we're just going to do a quick roundup of the City game, quick debrief, and then a preview of the Man United game tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Monday?
Yeah, tomorrow it is. Yeah.
Tomorrow, yeah. So today's game, I'm just gonna give my thoughts. So I think City, I've always said this season so far that I don't think we're as bad as people make out, because a lot of our performances have been okay. They've not been great, but we've just not been clinical. And I think today we actually were clinical, which we haven't been. So it was nice to see us put the ball in the back of the net for a change, because we've just been missing chances like no one's business. So it was nice to see that. A couple people got their first goal for City in the Prem, Mendy and THRASH. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, it just looked better from City. It looked like we finally kind of clicked. I know it is early days and it's Burnley. And like RB says, we have held 5. Burnley have held 5 against us, I think the last 3 times in a row. Yeah. So it's quite a common result. So I'm not getting too excited, but I just like the fact that we didn't need as many chances today to put it away. Maybe that's based on the goalkeeper, because they have Pope out. I don't know, but it just looked better from City all round.
Yeah, I'd say just even because I didn't catch it all, but I caught like say last 3 or 4 goals I caught.
Yeah.
So I missed the first goal, but exactly what you're saying there. You were very clinical today. Some of these chances, I've even got it just up there now as well. But some of these chances, these are the chances which you make all the time in these chances in the games where you've not maybe performed as well. It's not that you've not performed; it's just that you've not put them away.
Yeah.
And I personally just think City are just missing a fit striker. Yeah. I think if you have Aguero, for a full season, last season, the whole season's different. I think if you have him, a fit Aguero and Liverpool lose Van Dijk, I would swing it right back in your favour.
Yeah.
I just think it's the fact that he's missing, that super sharp striker. It's like even that own goal. Today that own goal where it's Jesus. And he's gone into the keeper. Well, he's basically shot it into the keeper, and then the keeper's fumbled it in. I think it was given as offside in the end, was it?
Yeah.
But for me, that is a big signal. Even though he's won, that is a big signal as to what's gone wrong in the previous games. Those are the chances Aguero just eats up. There's not even, you know what I mean? He gets his run correct on that one. He taps it in. It's high fives. It's 6, and then he's probably going to score 7 and maybe 8. Do you get what I mean? So I honestly think, yous are just the striker away. At the start of the season, I was very clinical of the transfers, but I think that Torres kid, I think he's a steal. I think he's a steal. I honestly think you've probably got one of the next best things there in the player, and he's gone under the radar as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? We seen him the other day. What was it? A hat trick against Germany. Do you know what I mean?
And or did he? I think he got 3, and I think he got an assist as well.
There you go. So and that's what he's 20 or 21. You know what I mean?
20.
There you go. That's for me. That's a player. For you to do that on the international stage,
exactly.
And Pep, if I was Pep watching it, I'd be absolutely rubbing my hands together because honestly, I think even though you've lost a very big player in Sane, you've somehow covered the blow already with his performances. Do you know what I mean? It was a case of, all right, is this kid going to come in and, maybe what United fans would have expected from someone like a Dan James in terms of someone, you might have thought it'd be someone who's going to come in, play a few games, warm in, but he's hit the ground running And I think he's a real good addition to your front line, because I think even though Sane was a goal threat, I think he's more of a goal threat.
Yeah.
I think he can. I've seen him, you know, Pep put him up front for a few matches, and I was thinking, well, what's he doing? But you can see there he's got that predatory poacher type to his play. So yeah, very big signing. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of a young Pedro. That's what I see when I see Pedro and I watch him, like young Barcelona Pedro. So yeah, I think he's got, you know, I'm just gone off on a bit of a tangent there, but I think he's got a hell of a player there, a hell of a player.
It's interesting because before he came in, I'd not really watched him because I don't really watch La Liga. I didn't watch Valencia, so I was a bit like I didn't see him before. But when he's come in, and I thought, obviously I give anyone a chance, like especially when they're young, because some people need a bit of time. But he's just hit the ground running. Like there was, I think he's a Man United fan, was saying to me earlier that one of them was saying that he's really good. You know, City have got, like, basically what you're saying, City have got a diamond in him. And then some guy was arguing, oh, well, he's not really done it for me. But I was like, he's been excellent in the Champions League more than the league so far. Like the league, I think it was the Liverpool game. I think he played a little bit, but he didn't really make a difference. But I think it's one of them things, he has to adapt to the league. He's still young. But look how he's playing already. He's our top scorer across all competitions. Like,
there you go.
It's mad. Do you know what I mean? At that age, to come in and hit the ground running, like, I'm shocked by that, because even like Leroy Sané didn't hit the ground running like that. You know, he's always been great, but, you know, I don't really remember early days for Sané, but I don't think he came in like that. So, yeah, I think he's only going to get better and better. And the fact that he's doing it internationally as well, you know, it's mad. So I'm really happy.
He's got the best setup when you think about it, because if you look at, he's got Manchester City, somewhere where he's going to be allowed to basically play across the front line and express himself. He's got a manager in Pep who we know can get the best out of players, give players new positions, new ways of playing, you know what I mean, teach them things. Then he's got the whole Spain setup where he's playing with some of the best players, you know, in Europe when he goes off every, you know, few months with them. And also their whole structure, manager-wise and coaching-wise, with the Spain national team, that's been on point for like the past 10, 15 years now, you know what I mean? Maybe even could say even longer. So he's got the best environment. Me as a football fan, I'm very excited to see where he gets. As a United fan, I'm quite worried. I'm quite worried. I'm not going to sit here like, oh no. I'm quite worried, because I think he could, under someone like Pep, he could really be a serious player for you. Like even if he doesn't improve too much and he keeps the level what he's at now, he's still going to be a good player. Do you get what I mean? He's still going to be someone who offers a goal threat, who can assist. He adds in to the fluentness of your front line. You know, where is he? Like the more they can seem to, apart from Aguero, all of your front players can play across each three positions. Do you know what I mean? With the same effect. So yeah, very big performance from him today as well. So he got his first goal. I just seen Mendy's goal as well. Then I don't know what happened. I must have been rubbing my eyes when that one went in. I don't recall that one. That is a finish. That is a finish.
Everyone was saying they think he meant a cross, but you know what? Mendy over the years has put some sick crosses in the box. Yeah. But some of our players, it's like I say, it's the clinicalness. Do you know what I mean? Like De Bruyne gets robbed of about 10 assists every game. Do you know what I mean? Because he puts the ball on a plate and they miss it. So I think Mendy should have a lot more assists than he's got, you know. And I'm a big fan of Mendy, because when he was at Monaco and he came to City, that's one of the best games I've seen. Like, it was a fantastic end-to-end game. As a neutral, it must have been amazing. As a City fan, it was stressful. You know, but it was 5-3 in the end, but that was a mad game. And yeah, he was brilliant. He mashed us up. That's why we bought him in the first place.
Yeah.
He mashed us up. Bernardo Silva too.
That's what I mean, everyone in that game, Fabinho was even there, Mbappe, you know what I mean? Like their team, that team was something else. But getting on to Mendy, you know what? Every time I see Mendy playing and he's banging in them crosses for you, I just think it's a shame that someone like you still not got someone like a Jekyll.
Yeah.
Because for me, he would feed off Mendy. Like, even if it's not just aerially, even if it was knockdowns and things like that, he'd be able to then knock it down for a Sterling or a Ferran Torres, or whoever it is coming in, running in from midfield. He would be able to make more out of them crosses. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of them for me. I think it's a shame that you've not got that set up. What's the best for him? But at the same time, it might be something now that helps him, might help him kick on a bit, because he's had his injury problems. He's had this and that going on with him. But everyone knows that Mendy is a top left back. Let's not get it twisted. If Mendy stays fit for a season, he will be right up there with the top left backs in the league. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, because I've always rated him, but I think because he got the ACL injury, that's always a hard one anyway. Do you know what I mean? That's why people are worried about Van Dijk, because they're saying it's not the easiest injury to come back from. So even when he's back, will he be back? If you know what I mean. So I think it's just things like that. I think he's kind of not got a run of games at City because he keeps getting injured. Obviously, people are attacking him in terms of his defensive capabilities. But again, that's a case of him not being able to run back because he's got injuries, or he's not fully fit, or he's not played enough games. So I think people were saying, is he done at City? I don't agree he's done at City. I think, he's a great player. He's still young as well. He's not that old, Mendy. So, I'd quite like him to get back into back into the form that he was at Monaco at some point, and then hopefully we'll see the best of him. But it's quite nice that we've got a fit team at the moment, because everyone has to prove themselves. Nobody is walking onto the team sheet. So I think now, he knows if he doesn't play well, Cancelo is starting. So he has to play well. So I'm quite happy at the moment, because we've got, a lot of, everyone's back apart from, I think he's given some people a rest. Aki's just come back, so I think he gave him a rest. Aguero still needs a week or so, apparently. But yeah, they're pretty much all fit now. So we should hopefully see the best out of him. I don't know if it's, going to be, because the way the season's gone so far, we've had one really good game. Yeah. And then the next game's not been so great. Or it's not really even games, it's halves. We've had one good half of football and one poor half of football. And even today, the first half was brilliant. The second half, Burnley were a little bit better, overall. So, yeah, obviously at the end we finished it off, but I think half an hour into the second half they were kind of saying, "Oh, Burnley have been the better team. They maybe should have got a goal in this half." So we'll see if it lasts all season. But I think we needed, especially people like Mendy, they need a goal for confidence. So hopefully it's going to get better. But let me just read some of the comments before we go too far. So RB says, "Yo, guys." Hi.
RB.
Momo says, "Jan, hey, you all right?" Patrick says, "Jan doing big things." Don't know about that. RB says, "Is Aki injured or just not playing?" He was injured. Now I think he's just been given a rest. I don't think he wants to rush him back because he got injured last time. So I think we'll see. He should be back hopefully next game. Hi. I won't say your name on here. Ferran shots are more on target than our other wingers. I think that's Ferran. Yeah, I agree with that. He's definitely looks a lot more clinical. MCSE Clive says Torres is a German, still young. Oh, by the way, if you're watching on Periscope, please jump over to YouTube, and that way you can like the video, share it, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Just for everyone. Gangster Crit says, "Big up JV."
Yes, Gangster Crit.
Yeah, I'm looking fine as always. Thank you. Dean Ryan, big up the Manchester connection. Yep.
Always.
Gangster Crip says, "Can't watch the whole show." Now that's cool.
It's cool, man. Thanks for the support anyway.
Yeah. He always supports, actually. Thank you. I think it's mainly the push for Mendy. Cancelo is his push, which he needs. I agree with that. I think when our players get too comfortable, they're a bit suspect sometimes. I think, we've seen it with Walker over the years. He's playing well, and then it's kind of like, oh, he's going to start every game. And then he just kind of falls off afterwards. So I think that sort of fight for positions it hopefully will lead us to, improve. Ryan, hi Ryan, says Mahrez is beautiful to watch today. Yeah, I have to agree. I feel a bit sorry for Mahrez because I think he's a fantastic player, but I think our system doesn't get the best out of him. So yes. I think, a lot of the way we play, our fans are getting onto him, but it's not really his fault. It's kind of like it's the system. It doesn't quite fit him. He fits in a system better where he's got more space and he can, run off the ball. And we just don't play like that. We try and walk it in. So I think it's a little bit, I almost feel like he should probably leave for his own benefit because I think somewhere else he will absolutely shine. Whereas at City, obviously his quality is still going to get goals. So people will say, yeah, but he gets goals. Yeah, he does get goals, but he would get more somewhere else. So I think for his sake, maybe he should move on to a system that's better for him. But I agree with what you were saying about Dzeko, because we actually had a discussion the other day about would I think it was like they were saying that Giroud was going to leave Chelsea in January. And they were asking, would you take him? And I was saying I would take Giroud because we need a tall, clinical striker because all our players are small. So obviously, long-term, I'd like Haaland or someone like that. But, right now, even in January, somebody like Giroud could come in and do a good job at City. So we'll see what happens.
100%. 100%. I honestly believe if you got someone like Giroud, even in January, he could get about 10 to 15 goals from January onwards. Because your way of playing is literally striker, stay in that box. Yeah. I will feed you. You know what I mean? Yeah. What's the funny thing is, someone like a Sean Goater would absolutely be licking his lips. Yeah. He'd be licking his lips because he would just sit in that 6-yard box and he'd be tapping them in all day. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, that's I never understand Pep's way of playing. He doesn't like centre forwards, but for me, his whole way of playing screams out for a centre forward because I know he likes everyone to be fluent and move, but if he really learned how to fit just someone in there, he would literally have the top goal scoring striker every season and the top scoring winger or attacking midfield. I mean, top assisting attacking midfielder, because you know what I mean. And it's the funny thing is, if you look back to when he first came in and he dominated, he's all had. I think you had Sane with 10+ assists. You had David Silva with 10+ assists. Sterling had 10+ assists, and I think Sterling had like 20 goals and everything. So that just shows you that I don't know if he's gone away from that purposefully or it's just something that's happened with the players. But that is the best way for you to play, is where you get them crosses in and it's Sterling. We've seen it all the time. How many times you see De Bruyne whip one and Sterling just sticks a foot out at the back post? Do you know what I mean? Whether it's him, Jesus, Sane when he was there, even Mahrez, you know what I mean? Foden. That's what I mean. The array of attacking talent which he has. Yeah. The fact that and this is one thing I've always said about Pep, he never has too many strikers. He doesn't like having to. I've noticed this. He'll have 2 strikers and that's it. And then throughout the season, your wingers can fit in and false nines. And do you know what I mean? I think that bit of stubbornness sometimes doesn't help him. Like, don't get me wrong, if Jesus was more of a clinical striker, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. Well, after this long now, he must have identified he's not going to be, I don't think he's going to be the number 9 after Aguero goes moving forward. I think he might get a chance, whether he takes it or not, or whether he does enough will left to be seen. Because I think even if Jesus scores 15 a season, he probably would have missed about 10 to 15 chances, easy chances. Because for me, the positions what he gets in, he's easily, his movement's one of the best in the league. He doesn't get enough goals to supplement it. So, for me, I just think, especially with how this season is, I think today Liverpool drawn again. They're not looking 100. I honestly think if yous lot can put together, because everyone seems to be talking about Tottenham.
Yeah.
Now Chelsea's coming into the conversation, and I'm like, hey, don't play down Pep and City that easy. That would everyone's actually doing what you would want them to, is to overlook you.
It's better for City, definitely.
100%. This is all playing into your hands. Like Tottenham putting together a good run of games. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, okay, but it's Tottenham. You know, we've seen them do this before. I'd be more worried if it was City on that run of games, because I'd be like, right, yeah, I know that City know what to do from here. Whereas Tottenham, I don't think they know what to do from the position they're in at the moment. But a lot of their players, they'll get to 10 games left. Not even 10 games. They'll get after Christmas. If they're still top after Christmas, they'll be panicking.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm more scared of City at the moment, if anything.
Yeah, because I've always said that since the start of the season, because obviously we had a lot of injuries in the beginning. We didn't have a striker in the beginning, and obviously that's when we tried Torres in there. He was new to the league, wasn't really successful in the beginning. So it's kind of like we've already been through, you know, the kind of shaky patch that we would normally have around Christmas. It seems like we've already kind of had that. So if we can come out the other side of that, get a run of games, get a run of wins. I think, you know, I always say I would never rule City out, because I've seen us come back from 9 points behind. Do you know what I mean? I've seen us do it. I think obviously Chelsea look good, but a lot of people are saying, is Lampard ready to win the league? I think Chelsea under Ancelotti or something, I'd be saying, yeah, they're going to win it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not so sure about Lampard. I'm not saying he can't win it, but he hasn't proven it so far, which obviously it's not his fault for that. It's just the fact that he's not managed for long. And then Tottenham, again, yes, Mourinho has proven that he can win, but have Tottenham not quite yet. So I think it just depends how we go on from now. If next week we draw or next week we lose, I just think we're not giving ourselves much of a chance. But if we can get a run of wins, you know, and then win our big head-to-heads, because, you know, if we beat Spurs away, I mean at home, which we normally kind of do, it's away when we struggle. You know, we beat Liverpool at Anfield. We pretty much got to do that now. We never do that. So that will be a big test. And obviously win the derby. I don't know how that's going to go. If we can win them sort of games, then we can swing it back in our favour. But I think it's early days the way this league's going at the moment. Just to add some comments about what they were saying about Pep. Jammer says, not really. Pep prefers his strikers to arrive in the box, hence why he prefers Jesus to Aguero. Same reason Delac won't make it under Pep. Yeah, he does prefer people that work. I think what Gabby does off the ball, do you know what I mean? Not many of our players do that. I mean, he gives so much space. He's always working hard. Even when he is missing chances, you know, he's still done the work to get there. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I do like Gabby, but I just think he needs to be more clinical if he's going to stay as our main striker. But because I think eventually we'll have to get someone else in if he's not getting the numbers.
Yes.
Dean's asked you a question. JV, where do you think United will finish this season? Same question to me that day.
Bloody hell, okay. That's a bit of a long one there, Dean. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you, yeah? If this Bruno dude, yeah, keeps firing how he is, and we can get some sort of momentum, I think with Bruno coming in, with Telles coming in, and Cavani now, I think that's added. These are experienced players. These are maybe what our squad was missing. I think relying on someone like a Martial or a Rashford all the time, or, you know, other players all the time. And this isn't a knock on those players, because I think the world of them. But I just think sometimes it comes down to an experience thing. It's like, look at City, or look at any of the big teams, or the best teams in the world at the moment. The main players aren't under the age of 25. Do you know what I mean? They've got, like, don't get me wrong, you might look at like a Bayern Munich and say, oh, Gnabry's quite young. Yeah, but Gnabry will have someone to turn to in the squad who's like 30 or something. I think the problem at United is when someone like a Rashford gets in a hard spot, he turns around to, you know, for a bit of experience. And the oldest guy in there is probably Pogba. And then above that, it's Matic, and I can't see someone like Matic taking you aside. And you know, he seems like a very quiet guy. I can't see him. He might be able to help and give some advice, but sometimes you just need that father figure in the dressing room, if that makes sense. And I think that's what City have. I think Liverpool have it in abundance. I think, you know, Bayern Munich's, your Real Madrid's, your Barcelona's, you know what I mean? Like, imagine something goes wrong or you're not doing something right as a defender, and then, oh, who can I turn around to? Oh, and there's PK. You know what I mean? I need some advice. I need some advice as a midfielder. Oh, who do I turn around to? Oh, there's De Bruyne. Do you get what I mean? And I think that's what United are missing. So for me now, when you've got these more experienced, your Brunos, your Tellers, your Cavani's, I think if we can get some sort of a run going and keep our squad fit, I think we can easily do top 4. I think third again this season. I think if we finish third again this season, it's progress, because we would be beginning to cement a position. We finish third. We finish. You know what I mean? We need to now consistently finish there, and then you can build on it. Innit? I'm not expecting us. I still don't think we're a million miles behind someone like Chelsea. Chelsea seem to get a lot of props, but you came to play us, our worst ever team ever, and you defended for 90 minutes. So we can't be that bad in it. You know what I mean? I think obviously it'll be Liverpool, City, United, and then I think fourth will be between Chelsea and Tottenham. So I think United will come third, roundabouts. Where do you think for City, Jan?
I don't. At the start of the season, I said we should be winning it, really, because especially Pep doesn't seem to go 2 seasons without winning. So I can't see that he's gonna be terrible. Like, you know, even the way this season started, people are saying, "Oh, you know, City, are they even going to finish in the top 4?" And I'm thinking, when have we not? Even when we've been terrible, we still managed to get top 4. So I don't think we'll be too far off. I don't think anyone's going to run away with it this year. Looks like a bit of a shaky season for kind of everyone so far. So I think it'll be a lot closer. Liverpool, despite their injuries, have looked good. Today, I did watch their game. They were kind of average that game, but I think it's just one of them days for them. I wouldn't take that as that's how they're going to play. They seem to be getting results regardless, even if they're not playing that well. So, yeah, I think Liverpool will still be in the mix. I think Spurs look good. They've got a good squad. I know one of their fans, Maya, was saying that if they get injuries, they're quite thinly stretched in terms of, you know, if they get injuries to Harry Kane and, you know, ManDem or something like that, like they might struggle a little bit, or their defense, but they still look good. Chelsea look good. So I don't know. I think it's a long way from the finish, but I would like to think that we can win it, or if not win it, have a title run, because I think we need it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I want to see a title race this year. I don't want to see. It's like the past few seasons, teams have just run away with it. You know what I mean? Like when you last won it, you ran away with it. You know what I mean? I want to see a battle. I want to see like the team who's second knows that they've got a game ahead of the team who's in first, and you just go and batter someone and then put the pressure back on whoever's in first. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we need a title race this year, man. I'm sick of seeing teams run away with it.
I think we'll definitely get one this year. Ryan said United desperately need a player like Mahrez.
Desperately. You know what's interested me at the moment? The fact of Martial's out in form, so he's thrown him back on the wing. I think a right wing, left wing combination of Martial and Rashford alternating. I think we don't need I don't think we need anything, because you still got Greenwood then on the bench. You still got someone like Dan James can play in his preferred position, which I don't believe it. But yeah, so I don't think we need a Mahrez. I think we desperately need a centre back, if anything, and I think we're good to go.
Nat Nell says, I don't know if it's Nathaniel. I'm just going to assume it's Nathaniel. Mendy's issues are injuries, but if he's fit, City can get close to the title. I agree. He does a lot for us going forward. Giroud is so underrated. Does more than just score goals. I agree with that. I really like Giroud. I thought Giroud was excellent at Arsenal, and then he left and went Chelsea, and he's been excellent again. So I think he should leave, really.
Yeah, if you look at someone like Giroud for the amount of minutes he plays, when Giroud plays, Giroud scores.
Yeah, he's like one of the top scorers for France, isn't he, as well?
They in the history of France,
yeah.
Like, let's keep it real. They've had all the champagne footballers in the world, bro. They've had Zidane's, Henry's, Trezeguet's, and Elka's. Do you know what I mean? Could go back in time, Platini's, this, and that, and someone like good old fashioned 1990s Premier League striker Ollie Giroud. Because I think he's in the wrong era. I think if Giroud's in the 90s, Giroud goes down as a Premier League legend. Like, I honestly think he does. I'd have him at United in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
He's a goal scorer. He's not nothing fancy. He'll do what it says on the tin. That's all I'm there for, innit?
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely like that. Bits and Bobs, big up Bits. He says City reminding everyone they're still about, Do you know what? I think my whole take on this season is I've been saying on every podcast that I've been on, I've been saying City haven't been that bad. They've just not been clinical. And today we were good and we were clinical. So I think if you look at the stats for every game, today wasn't that different to a lot of our games this season. It's just we put our chances away. So I think, if we carry on being clinical, I think it's not a problem. City have gone from scoring the most amount of goals for the last 5 seasons, struggling to get. We had, before that game today, we had the same amount of goals as Calvert-Lewin, our whole team. Do you know what I mean?
Dominic Calvert-Lewandowski and that best striker in the league and that.
Yeah. You know what it is though? You know what? I honestly think what happened this season.
Yeah.
I've said this. I think I said this on From a Third Eye last time I was on, like 10 years ago or something.
Yeah.
I honestly think City versus Liverpool this year, whenever that match takes place, I literally think the winner of that just goes clear. I think the winner of that gets that momentum and it just does something different for him. I think that might be what it is, because they when them two meet, they must be like looking at each other in a tunnel, like, you know what, if there's anyone who's gonna it's these guys. Yeah. And I think both teams will be looking at each other like saying that, you know what I mean? So I'd love to see that. I would also just love to see Aguero stay fit for a full season.
Oh no.
Even though I'm not his biggest. It's not that I'm not his biggest fan. It's that he plays for City.
Exactly that. Yeah.
If anything,
maybe like him, but he's a City player.
Yeah. If anything, before we went to City, Aguero was probably my favorite player outside of the Premier League. That's no gas. If anyone knows me, Aguero was my favorite player outside. I was talking mad about this guy. I remember Liverpool were going to get him or something like that. Man was in my feelings.
As well.
Yeah, Chelsea were linked with him. Man was there in my feelings again. I'm like, yo, do you man not like watch football? You know what I'm saying? And then he ended up at City, and just destroyed my whole liking of him. You know what I'm saying? But on a real note, I think if he comes back now tomorrow and he's fit for the rest of the season, he's win the league. I actually think it's that simple. I actually think it's that simple.
I think with Aguero, it's almost like company in the fact that he kind of led the team. I think because Aguero has done it himself 4 times, it's that confidence that he will have if he stays fit, like you say. He's scoring, he can score against anyone and everyone. Yeah. So I think keeping him fit has been, one of our main focuses over the past couple of years. It's not worked out, but it would be nice to keep him fit. JV, question for you from Ryan. He says, if United sack Ole very soon and you got Poch, could you maybe challenge for the title this season?
Yes. Sorry, I'm jumping in. Yes. Go on, JV. Continue. Without question, yes. But go on, JV. I'll let you elaborate on it.
I've done a lot more thinking on this Poch thing, and I'm not on the Poch train, fam. For
fam,
me,
what's happened, yo?
Nah, I've been doing some serious thinking, and it's like, you're getting rid. So what's Poch got really, fam? Like, we're getting rid of Ole, yeah? And we're going to bring in potential. You know what I'm saying? We're going to bring in Spurs potential, fam. Let's get this right. Let's get this right.
Go on.
We're bringing in potential. And that's it.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
That's the only thing with me. See, with Ole now, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Give Ole all right then, I put this out there like this, you know, and man, no,
Let's
I
go.
don't really like Ollie, and this will let you know how I really feel about Poch. You give Ollie the same amount of time that Poch had at Tottenham, and I think the end result isn't too much different. I think if Ollie's at United for the same amount of time that Poch was at Tottenham, Ollie does better. Might not get us to a Champions League final.
If Ollie was at United the same amount of time that Poch was at Spurs, Ollie would do a better job.
However much time Poch managed at Tottenham, so whether it's 5 years, whatever. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I think if you look at Man United in 5 years from after Mourinho, I think Ollie would have done a better job than Poch has done at Tottenham. I really think that Poch's whole thing gets a really big rating because he's made Tottenham relevant. But when you really look at it now, he's only made him relevant. He's not turned him from a team coming up to winning the league like Ranieri did for Leicester. Do you get what I mean? Like, let's really sit down and think about this Poch thing. What has he done? I've really thought about it, you know, like, you made certain, and you know, you finished top 4 consistently and rare. You've just took the Tottenhamness out of Tottenham. But if you really deep it, Tottenham, with the players what they've had over the past few years, should probably be in that position anyway. So I'm even less on this Poch train now, because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, what Ollie's done for United right now, what Ollie is doing right now, is not too much different from Poch's end result. Poch's end result at Tottenham was that he got them to a final. That's not all that, you know.
Okay, so that's it. Final. So all right. So I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. He is potential. That is 1000% true. So I'm not gonna disagree with that. But we're looking at it. You have to look at potential, because Poch could potentially be going into his best years. Because if you go and get an Allegri and Ancelotti, 2 managers I'm fans of, if you Manchester United did get to manage them, I'm all with. But with Poch, you could be getting somebody who's going into his best years. And yes, he didn't win a trophy at Spurs, but you said it there. Not only did he solidify them as top 4 contenders, this guy finished 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Like, he solidified them. He elevated them as a club. That's a major thing. And he's done this twice. He did it with Southampton, because when he went into Southampton, they were mid to bottom team table. They were challenging for Europa League. Then he went to Spurs. He elevated them as a club again. So it's with Manchester United. If he elevates us as a club, there's only one place to go. Could it go wrong? Yes. But I look at the team he inherited at Spurs and the team he inherited at Southampton. This Manchester United team is miles better. So if he inherits him and improves him in any way, shape, or form, United will be in business. He's a miles better manager than Ollie. I guarantee we'll win 3 games in a row more than once on the Poch. I think we win 3 games more in a row than with any decent manager. This is why I'm so gassed for a new manager to come in, because I think any manager of any sort of caliber does bits with this team in this league. When you have the likes of Southampton and Leicester and Aston Villa in the top of the league, ain't Newcastle 4 points off top or some shit like that?
Something like that, it's,
you know. Not 10 games in, Newcastle, you know, you hate Steve. You telling me our manager can't match Steve Bruce? Like, come on, man. Like, this is getting ridiculous now. That's my whole point, is this league is wide open. So Ryan asking this question saying, can you challenge for the title? Yes, I'm not saying we'll win it, but I'm saying with a decent, we have the players to challenge, because if Newcastle are 4 points off top, there's no reason we shouldn't be less than that. If Villa can be near the top of the league and Leicester and all these teams, we better than, if it was City or Liverpool or Chelsea, I hold my hands up and be like, all right, they probably have, well, the top 2 definitely have better teams and better managers. But we're not even matching teams who are worse than us. But yeah, go on.
You know, one thing I would say as well, though, which is put me off him a bit, is how he wasn't able to pick. Right, this is the big thing. He wasn't able to pick that team up after losing the Champions League final. Why? Because of pressure. Yeah, you're coming into you're coming into the pressure cooker now, fam. You get what I'm saying? The theatre of dreams is nightmares for some man, fam. So you can't pick up these Tottenham man because they were sad, because they lost the final. Yeah. and then it all went sour grapes and all for you. I don't know what happened with the tier and the board.
You know what happened with that team, fam? It was just the end of the cycle. That's what happened with that team. It was 4 years in. I think that team at that point was done. Lack of investment. When you don't sign somebody for, I think it was a window or 2 windows. Yeah, I think if they beat, I think 2 windows. I think if Liverpool lose that, it goes the same way in it. I think whoever lost that final, it would have capitulated for. And I think that was just the end of the road for that team. And if you look at it, Mourinho's got rid of a lot of, no, not a lot, but a lot of them players ain't around. Yes, you have your Kanes and your Sons, but Dembele ain't there. Who else ain't there? Danny Rose ain't there. Trippy has been sold.
Wanyama, all them.
Wanyama. Vertonghen's still. Which one of them? One of them's
no. Both of them are gone out there.
Are they both gone? Yeah, see, I don't even know. But this is my whole point, is it was just the end of the road for that cycle. Yes, with Poch, you are signing potential, but you getting a manager who could potentially be going into his best years. And that's how I'm looking at it. We did that with Mourinho. We did it with Van Gaal, where you have 2 managers who are, their better years are behind them. So I'm looking at Poch like, all right, let's go in it. And if he overachieves with this team, like he has done at his 2 previous, United will win something. If he overachieves with this team.
All right, then, but I'll put it to you like this. Yeah. If Ole wins the League Cup this year, he's a more successful manager than Poch.
Yeah.
And do you get that's my only thing with Poch. Poch hasn't won anything, and Poch has never looked like he's going to win anything. Like, as much as them heroics
at the clubs, it's heroics, but at the club he's supposed to. He's not been he shouldn't be. His reign at Spurs was successful without a trophy. You're not there to win a trophy. Same with Southampton. He's not been in a position to win a trophy. Yes, it's a black mark. It's a black mark against him, definitely, because he should have won something with Spurs. But like I say, every manager there's a black mark against. I will take that. It's better than this Ollie shit.
Because you've got people in the comments who have both points of view. So Ryan says, Poch got Spurs to a Champions League final without making any sense.
There we go. That's an achievement. He should.
That's similar to what you're saying. He also says, flawless is spot on. Spurs peaked at the Champions League final and he didn't get the time to rebuild it. I think they lost him a bit quickly considering what he did for them.
Yes. When people say it was the end of the road, but when people say he got to a final and he lost, Spurs shouldn't be in the final. They shouldn't. At that point, they were never, I say this all the time, they were not top 2 teams in Europe. They weren't top 4 teams. Let's keep it real. They weren't top 10. They shouldn't even make a quarterfinal. At the start of that season, Spurs should make a quarterfinal. So to get them there, I'm like, all right, that's cool. Yes, you get me. It's disappointing he hasn't won anything in that.
Man said Argentina.
Daniel agrees with you. So he's saying Poch is just an Argentinian David Moyes. He improved another Premier League team winning nothing. He's only just vibes. I think that's a lie.
Do you know what it is? You know what it is?
That's not correct. Like, come on now. No. That's not.
No. One second.
Everton. Moyes never made Everton. Never finished 2nd, 3rd, and 4th with Everton. So let's keep it real in it. Never ever in life. He's either an Ollie in guy or he's a fan of another team. I guarantee.
I'll put it to you like this, though. Honestly, I'll put it to you like this. Moyes, you see them years when Moyes was getting Everton to Europa League, to even just qualify for the competition. That's more of an accomplishment than what Thingy did with Tottenham. It actually is, bro. Because Everton were like relegation when Moyes first come in. You have to remember, Poch came in. When Poch came in, Spurs had been in the Champions League. They'd had Bale. They'd had Modric. Do you get what I mean? They'd had some sort of success. They had a blueprint. If you get where I'm coming, they've had some big players now. It's not like, this is what I'm trying to say. Poch gets a lot of ratings, but if Poch does that season, those seasons at United, it don't get him nowhere. He's not getting no ratings for that. Do you get what I mean?
If overachieves, obviously, if he does that, the difference between Spurs and Everton is that there's much more. You touched on it there. The players that Spurs had, there's much more pressure on Spurs. There's no pressure at Everton. Even Ancelotti there now, there's no pressure at Everton because they haven't been successful. They haven't been in a title race. People forget Poch has been in 2 title races. He shouldn't be in any title races at Spurs. Never in our lifetime, apart from him, have Spurs been in a Champions League final 1 and been in title races. Yes, they didn't win anything, but he shouldn't be there. Spurs were never the second. When Spurs finished 2nd, they weren't the 2nd best team. When Spurs finished 3rd, they weren't the 3rd best team. 4th, you can argue. So you're overachieving. This is my whole point. He's overachieved multiple times with 2 separate teams. Moyes never over. Yeah, you can kind of say Moyes over, but he overachieved with no pressure. Same way Ancelotti now is under no pressure. Never at Everton are you under any pressure to do well. Because the seasons where Moyes finished 7th, 8th, Poch couldn't do that at Spurs. Spurs fans would kick off. If Poch finished 7th, 8th, Spurs, and when their team became poor and their results became poor, we got sacked. You know what I'm saying? And that. Now,
but here's my thing.
Respond to this. Poch isn't the only option. He's my preferred option. But hear what I said at the start. I said I would take an Allegri. I would take an Ancelotti. I will take any manager of any caliber, because any manager of any caliber does well with this team. Ollie makes this team look worse than it is. We won 3 games in a row once.
Go on, Jade. Yeah, no, I hear you, bro. But you see what my thing is? When the pressure really got onto my man, he flopped, bro. And you see that pressure, that after Champions League pressure, yeah? He's going to feel that at United 100 times more the minute he walks through the door. That's my whole thing. That's my whole thing with Poch. I've not seen you perform in a job when you're under pressure. When you're under pressure in a job, you've capitulated. You've absolutely, like, boom, there's nothing from you. Do you get where I'm coming from? And that's my only problem, because no doubt we will get Poch in, he'll do good, and this team will throw him under the bus, like they've done with every other manager.
The only difference is with the no pressure thing is him being backed. He needs to be, after Spurs, after you lose a final, you need to be backed. He wasn't backed. They didn't sign anybody. He wasn't backed. As soon as you lose a final, or you lose a race. Go on, Jan. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, I think any manager coming in is going to be a risk in it. So you don't know. Yes. Poch could come in and be another Fergie and stay a ridiculous amount of time and win everything. But he could come in and flop. You just don't know. So I think anyone that you get in is going to be a risk. So I think it's one of them things. If they choose to get Ollie out, you just have to keep in mind that it could get worse before it gets better. Do you know what I mean? But it's a risk, you know. Chelsea have done it. So,
let me just cut you off. I guarantee Poch does better than Ollie. I can guarantee that right now. That happens. I guarantee.
In terms of what?
In terms of everything, fam. The results, the football, everything. Results, football, positioning.
Honestly,
everything. Easy because it's easy. I guarantee we win 3 games in a row more than once. I guarantee that. I guarantee we're not behind 10 games in. We're not behind your Newcastles and your Villas and all this nonsense. I guarantee we're not playing 2 DMs at home to West Brom.
No. It's not you see my whole thing about Poch. It's not when he starts. It's not the thingy. Pressure. That's my only. It's not the 10 games in. I honestly, he will do better. But will this guy win us anything? I don't know. I actually don't know.
That's the big question mark. But I believe, I want to put it this way. You know what I think this is? Poch, I was thinking about this when you look at Klopp and you look at Poch. Poch is Klopp without the Bundesliga. They're the same. Of course he is. He got to it. Okay, wait. What's the difference? He was at Dortmund, lost the Champions League final. He was at Spurs, lost the Champions League final. One of them's been relegated.
Yeah.
If Poch won a Bundesliga, if Poch had won a Bundesliga or a Portuguese league or something like that, that's the only difference. That's the only difference between them two. I'm talking about. I'm not saying Poch is as good as Klopp. I'm saying it's before I'm saying before Klopp got to Liverpool. Klopp is now, we respect him now for what he did at Liverpool, but Liverpool was signing potential at that point. A manager that had been relegated. Imagine Poch had been relegated.
No,
never hear the end of it. Never hear the end of it.
Here's the thing with Klopp, why I won't even put him on the same pedestal as him, simply because when he had that pressure and he came back. That's my thing. Klopp came back. Klopp's been relegated, bro. We still know about Klopp now. Klopp's been relegated. Klopp's lost Champions League finals. He's came back. He's been toe to toe with Bayern for how many seasons? He's beaten one season. He's been battered by him another season. He's gone again the next season. Do you get what I mean? That's my only thing. Is I can't judge you off the punches you threw in the first round if you got knocked out in the second and nothing seen.
Did he not win? Did he not win the league before he got to? He won the league before he got to the Champions League final.
Who?
So, Klopp. He won the Bundesliga, then got to the Champions League final after, if I'm correct.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But then he's still going. So that's my thing. Like with the whole Poch thing, I don't know. All I'm saying is, when I've seen the real pressure come on this guy, he's folded, and he's not even been in football since, bro. Like, let's give this a real think. Why has no one else got onto him? There's hella teams that have needed managers while this guy's been sat at home, you know.
Do you get Barcelona in it, but he won't manage Barcelona for obvious reasons.
Because of Espanyol and that, innit? Nah, I hear that, but do you get where I'm coming from, though? Like,
it's a doubt, but like I said, to me, he's Klopp without the Bundesliga title.
You know what?
I'm saying before Liverpool.
I kind of agree with both of you because JV's right in what he's saying. So far, he's proven he can improve teams. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But a lot of managers come in and improve a team temporarily. Do you know what I mean? So I think Spurs they're not as dead as people make out. Like, you know, before Poch came in, they were in the Champions League. You know, they were finishing high in the table. So he has improved them. He has overachieved. I agree with that. So I agree with what you're saying. He has overachieved. I just think in general for Man United, I agree with you, Flawless, in the way that I think he will improve Man United because I think he's more likely to get maybe better out of the players than you see him from Ole. But again, it's not a guarantee because when he is under pressure so far, he's not been able to win. So we'll see. We'll see. I think if you do get him in, obviously that's the only way we'll know. But I think he's a little bit. I like Poch. I like the way he plays. I like the football that he plays. I like the fact that he's improved people. So I'm not going to say that I wouldn't have him at City. Obviously, if Pep left tomorrow. But again, he's always going to be under that little bit more pressure because he hasn't won anything before. You know, it's like City. We haven't won the Champions League. We're automatically under pressure to win it every season, even if we're not favourites. Do you know what I mean? You could see the best Bayern Munich, the best Barcelona, the best Real Madrid, and people will still be saying City should be winning it. You know what I mean? So I think it's pressure, and that pressure will come with Man United. He will be under pressure constantly.
Yeah. Quickly, to everyone who's watching this on Twitter, cross over to the YouTube, hit up Sarcasm City, you know what I'm saying? A lot of you lot are watching it on Yan City's Twitter and that on the Periscope, so get over to the YouTube, Sarcasm City, hit the like button on the video, subscribe, and then you can go back to Periscope. You know what I'm saying? There we go.
But you know what it is for me, though?
Locked in. Yeah, go on, fam.
Just one more thing on this Poch thing.
Yeah,
I remember saying this when I was watching the game. So that happened in the final, and then Liverpool got that penalty, and I was like, you've quit, bro. I actually remember watching this game, like, he's give up. Like, he's give up. There weren't nothing from him. There weren't what did he have in store? Like, you knew Liverpool. Don't get me wrong. It's not like he's playing, I don't know, Bayern Munich, who he doesn't play 2, 3, 4 times a season. It's a team he knows very well in Liverpool. He knows what Liverpool were going to do. He knew how they were going to set up. You took your gamble on your Harry Kane, which backfired, which is that was a frightening decision in a final for me. Absolutely backfired. And it was the fact that he had no response to Liverpool. Like, that was apart from that Champions League final where it was Juventus and AC Milan at Old Trafford and it went to penalties. That's the worst Champions League final I've watched in a long time, that thing you won. It was absolutely terrible. And it was like, you've come to this
because Liverpool won. You get what I'm saying? Any Champions League final.
It was terrible because they won, bro. But you know, for what? I was watching it like I was watching it, hoping something would happen rather than like, oh, so and so's on the pitch. I know this is gonna happen. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And that's one thing about him. It was like,
you understand? He had nothing. But I'm just gonna say one point on this. He's not at his very best potentially yet. He's learning. It's his first final. He's learning. Like, you are literally going through it. You're learning. This is the biggest stage you've ever been on. It's not like he's been there. It's not like he's been there 2 or 3 times. You're learning on the job. This is your first final. This is the biggest game of your managerial career. You're gonna make mistakes. Klopp lost
but you got
4 or 5 finals. Klopp lost 4 or 5 finals. Before we got the
Sorry, I think a lot of managers do lose their first Champions League final. A lot of clubs.
Klopp lost. Klopp lost 4 or 5 or something like that. Man lost 5 finals in a row.
What I didn't understand was why he dropped Mora when Mora is the reason they were in that final in the first place. He was the sole reason against Ajax, and I didn't get that myself. If it was Pep, I'd be saying the same thing. This player's got you into the final. They should Ajax should have put that game to bed. Do you know what I mean? For him to come and do what he did and then not play in the final, I thought it was a little bit from them, when I saw that, because obviously I didn't want Spurs to win it before City, and I didn't want Liverpool to win it. So when I went into the final, I was like, out of the two, probably it's better for Liverpool, because Liverpool already have 5. So 6 times and 5 times don't make no difference. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I was thinking, out of the two, I would rather Liverpool over Spurs, just because City haven't won it. You know, obviously.
Oh, is that where you're coming from?
4, it would be a different thing. Yeah, if City had 4, I'd be like, Spurs are there. You know what I mean? But we don't. So I didn't want them to win it. But I just think, like, there was only one team in that game. And I think that was a little bit disappointing, because I feel like if we'd have got there, we would have given him a game at least. Maybe we would have lost. Do you know what I mean? Being under all that pressure against Liverpool, maybe we would have lost. But I think we would have given them a bit of a game. And I just felt like Spurs didn't. And it's not all Klopp, because I think the players didn't really, they probably, like we were saying earlier, didn't believe they could win it. So they kind of went into there thinking, yeah, we're going to lose. But it just looked like a one-team game. And even Liverpool did well. That's why we're saying the quality was quite poor, because if Liverpool are playing anyone good, they're winning that game playing like that.
No, 100%. So, if Liverpool played any other like team who are able to get to the Champions League quarter-final and, you know, further, Liverpool get beat that game, and they'll get beat handsomely. They'll probably end up getting beat the same way they got beat, even though there was 2 mistakes in it. When they got beat 3-1, I think it was the year previous by Madrid. You know what I mean? Like, I think that Liverpool team there was probably there for the taking. Like, and you know what I mean? This idiot could have stopped them being who they are now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, allow my guy, man. Allow my guy, man. He's trying to figure it out. Man.
That's why he's an idiot. That's why I'm not even, that's probably why I'm not feeling him, you know.
Yeah,
I might allow Liverpool to become Liverpool who they are now, and that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like I said, yo, he trying to figure it out. So I'm looking at potential. Like, I want someone who's coming into their prime rather than someone who maybe prefer someone who potentially has their best years ahead of them. That's how I'm looking at it. Out of the potential bunch, you're the best, because every other manager on my list is someone who's been there, done it, and Allegri and Ancelotti. Even though I mentioned what's his face, Nagelsmann as well. But I look at Poch, I'm like, you tick more of the boxes for me personally than anybody else. Is it a risk? Yes, every manager's a risk. But I'll roll the dice on you because it can't get any worse. We can't go backwards. You can't get any worse.
I think he definitely would improve United.
I think here's the thing. I think any half decent manager improves United. I think anyone with any form of managerial nous figures it out with this team. I don't even think you have to be a world beater. I think if you take the Southampton manager, who I'm not saying I want, would improve this team. I think, not most, but a lot of managers. I think Brendan Rodgers, who I'm not a big fan of, improves this team. I'm not saying I want Brendan Rodgers. I'm saying he improves this team and gets more out of this team. We look bad for the players we have. We're the most underachieving team for the players we have. We should not be getting the results and playing the football we do. This is why I'm so adamant on getting Oli out, because the football is shocking at times. But then we'll play Istanbul, and then you see that. But then we'll play West Brom a few days before, and we look like the championship side. Mad.
True. Nah, you know what it is, bro. You know what it is. Honestly, bro.
I just want anyone in it. Like any manager of any sort in it. Like,
you know my only thing with him as well.
I think the league's there. That's sorry to cut you off, JV. That's why I'm so adamant. I think you said this from the jump before the season started about this could be a Leicester season. And I think we have the players to do that. City, obviously, Liverpool, hella injuries. City are not what they were. And then everyone else is looking at it like that. And I think we have the play. When you have the amount of goals United have, we potentially could do it, but just not with this manager. And that's what's so frustrating, because we're running out of time. We could easily go on a run with this team and win 6-7 games in a bounce.
You see what it is for me?
Go on.
With the whole Poch thing. I know I keep going back to it. But I just think the pressure, and not even just the pressure, but no one's really watching him too hard when he's at Tottenham, fam. You get what I'm saying?
Is a fair point. Yeah.
There's games in his reign he's lost horribly. He would have lost games horribly as a Tottenham manager, and no one's batting an eyelid because it's Tottenham. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? My whole thing with him is, I think it's because it's Tottenham. You know, I think it's because it's Tottenham that he's came from. So he might become he might still come. He might have a bit of Tottenham on him. You know what I mean? He might come in and, you know, like when you come home from school and your mum says you smell like school when you was a youth man. He might come into Old Trafford with a bit of Tottenham on him. You know what I mean? And pass the Tottenham around. You know what I'm saying? He might pass the Tottenham around to some players and people start going on Thursday and that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like if it was a team with more prestige, then he's gonna bring something in it. But I don't see what you're gonna bring to United from being a Tottenham manager. Do you get where I'm coming from? For me, you've got to have something about you. You've got to have a lot about you to handle our club. Like, we all know Jose is a character. United destroyed him from. United absolutely destroyed him. He needed some time out of the game. Man had to, you know what I'm saying, sort his head out and get his head back together. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Van Gaal's not managed since. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
you know what? Adam Mike says that. He said we destroy managers because he's like Moyes was out for time. Van Gaal was still not come back. Mourinho was out for time. And Oli, once he goes, I don't think we'll see him probably in the Premier League again, to be honest, after this.
Oh, no, he will. Yeah. He will. He'll just go back to what he was before. He'll get like another Cardiff or
You reckon you see him getting another Cardiff? I really don't, you know.
No, bro. He will have Man United on his CV. That's good enough for some teams and some. Do you know what I mean? Like him having United on his CV will be good. Don't get it wrong. Don't.
Your ugly grandma can see. Obviously, Jan's controlling the comments.
Yeah,
that's all.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Man could probably get rid of Oli, have Poch for 5 years, be playing in the Champions League in 5 years, and Oli's managing like a team from I don't know, Bundesliga or something. It could happen, bro, because he's got United on his CV. It's as sick as that. It's not even the point of what he did at United. It's the fact that he's got it on his CV. Do you get what I'm saying? He could probably get. It's like that when I see that Roberto Martinez and I think, oh, you Belgium's manager? And I'm like, oh, yeah, he did that thing at Chelsea and that. Do you get what I'm saying? No, he had that whole, you know what I'm saying? He's had success elsewhere. Sometimes when you get a little, not even a success, it's where you've been. It's like, okay.
Because was he at Swansea? And then he was at, what did he go after that?
Chelsea? Was it Chelsea?
No, it was Everton. It was. I knew it was
Everton. Sorry, yeah. That's what I was thinking. Everton.
Yeah.
And he had them okay for a second. Everton. Might have mashed up there, but then look, man's Belgium's manager telling De Bruyne and them man what to do and that. He's like, huh? And then that's what I think. I think Oli will get something, bro. Don't get it twisted, bro. He could only be Norway's manager at the next big tournament, telling Haaland and them man what
you
to
know
do.
what? That makes sense to me, innit? That type of thing, an international job at one of them obscure, whether it's Norway or some other obscure country, in it, like the guys just there managing Qatar or something like that, and you're like, right, Oli's back. Yeah, it's one of them.
Trust me, bro. That would not surprise me in the slightest if these men were to. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them. But honestly, I just hope that if we do get Poch, I hope he's really about that life. I just don't see someone who's like, he's not had to fight, he's not had to battle. I think the whole Tottenham thing. Nah, I'm not sold. You know, he's not had to fight. He's not had to battle like Tottenham. Like there's not. Like, all right, then that first time when he probably got sacked is probably the first time he was ever under any actual pressure at Tottenham.
And I think I think that will personally, I think that makes him better and make him stronger. I'm looking at it like, okay, you needed this. You know what I'm saying? You needed to go under some pressure to learn and that. And I think someone said this, once you start seeing managers back on TV and stuff like that, I'm like, you're ready to come back. And I just think everything fits. But yeah, we'll see what's going on. Alright, that's a bit much. I don't like actually. I thought you said Oli. Have Martinez. Each to their own, innit? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't get me wrong, people. Just because you see me here sold on Poch doesn't mean I wouldn't take anybody else. Let's not do that.
Somebody said here, Mr. Goldie Black said, we need someone who has already done it, not someone who is looking to do it. Enrique did it with Barcelona. We all know the board and management was crap. If Olo goes, he should be the guy. Nathaniel says, I'm not Oli in, but Poch is not the only option. There are a lot of other managers.
Oli in. When someone says I'm not Oli in, you don't say you're Oli out, you're definitely Oli in. But you lot don't say it with chest, man. I'm sick of this. You lot who are Oli in don't say it with chest and that. This is why me and Indiana get into it all the time. Shout out my done Indiana. He's probably watching, he might be not. But this is why me and Indiana get into it all the time, because people who are Oli in don't say it with chest. You know what I'm saying? If you're Oli in, say it. You know what I'm saying? And that. Say it. Yeah, see, you have Ryan, who's the only people who say that Ollie in with chest is other fans like Yan City and Ryan and team and fans of other teams and that. You Ollie in are a joke and that. Say it with chest. I'm potching and I say it with chest, man. Say your opinions with chest. You lot are so irritating. Yeah, no spam and evil. You know what I'm saying? And that. You lot say it with chest and that. Sorry, man, we changed the banner. Hold up. We taking over the show now, you know what I'm saying, until she comes back. You feel me? This is the ManDem United show. Let me change the thing. We say
hijack.
Yeah, hijack. See that? Hijack the thing.
Boom. Get me.
We took over the.
But it wasn't like, just go out.
Yeah, serious. The views just go down like, where's Yan City? Because they love it.
We're only here for Yan.
Yeah, but as I was saying, there's always luck involved in everything. So it's not only by luck. You know what I'm saying?
1 second. Champagne football. I'm not feeling he didn't play champagne football. See, this is what I don't like, you know. Please don't build yourself, don't glorify Poch's thing. And then because you know what's gonna happen, no? There's what's gonna happen, Flawless. Trust me, bro. Everyone's gonna I know you're not doing it, but see, man are saying Poch played champ. No, he didn't. Let's not get into it. He played good football. He didn't, it wasn't champagne football. Because champagne football wins you things. See, this is what people are gonna do. They're gonna be like, yeah, he played champagne football.
Oh no, why are you changing it? You better put it back.
We changed it back. Yeah, we changed it back. We took over your show. 1 sec. All right, let's.
Do you know what it is? Man are gonna be saying he played.
Let me remove myself. I don't want to be on JV. Don't want to be on that side. Yeah, there we go. Right,
that's cool, man.
See, how did you do that? Wait, 1 sec. How the hell did you do that?
You need to teach us.
Listen. He also said Alicia is defensive. He's good, but he is so defensive.
At this point, I don't care. I just want results. I don't care how they do it. I want results and trophies. I don't care about the how in it. Just get results and trophies in that. That's it.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is with people saying Allegri is defensive? People, you know what I don't go off? I'm a football fan, but you know what I never go off? I might use it to give myself an idea. I never go off the lineup what they tell me on TV. Yeah. I never go off. When I see someone and it's a 3-5-2, I go, okay, this is what they're telling you it is because I know how football works. I put out a formation to the thing and I change something immediately. That's what every manager does. Pep's notorious for it. Pep will make you think you're playing against a 3-5-2. You look out, it's a 3-4-1-9. You know what I'm saying? Looking like algebra. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, see, when man see Allegri, trust me, bro. Sometimes when I see Pep's formation, it's looking like an equation, fam. You know what I mean? It's like, what? It doesn't make sense. You get what I'm saying? But it works. But too many people will see, oh, yeah, Allegri used to play 3-5-2. But when you actually really deep it was like a diamond. You get what I'm saying? I go off what it turns into. Because I can tell you every week I'm playing 4-4-2, but if 30 minutes in, it's a 4-3-3, bro.
Facts.
We play 4-3-3. Do you get what I'm saying? If I play a formation for a majority of the match, that is my formation. The one that I've put out at the start is just to throw you. So when everyone's saying Allegri is defensive, you cannot win a league for 12 years being defensive, bro.
You must score goals at some point. And this is my whole point. I haven't watched Allegri week in, week out to know how good he is. Obviously, I've seen his teams in the Champions League, but I wasn't watching Serie A week in, week out to know. But to me, the players seem to like you, your systems work, you get results. This is why if Manchester United appointed Allegri as manager today, I'm happy because I'm looking at it like, okay, we're probably going to win something with you. You know what I'm saying? You're capable of doing this because you've shown me this. At this point, it's anybody with any form of CV, I am all for. You know what I'm saying? Anyone with any form of anything on their CV, whether it's you've been there and done it or you have potential to do it. If you show me something, all right, let's go. Because I don't think this league's that strong. I don't think the Champions League's that strong. If you look at take away Bayern Munich, who's the second best team in the Champions League?
Up in the air. Madrid aren't there anymore. Madrid aren't what they are.
City. It could potentially be City, but even City, you look at it's like if United were to draw City, even though you would be the favourites, I'm like, United could definitely knock out City. But I bet City looking at the same. City could think, right, we could knock out United, we could knock out Liverpool, we could knock out Real Madrid, Barcelona. Munich are the only team, PSG, who we've beat already. It's like Juventus, obviously they have Ronaldo, but even Juventus is like, there's no one there that I fear. That's what I'd say in it. What are you saying
what it is?
About Yeah, go on, JV. Go on.
Just a quick one. I honestly think we have more chance. We've got more chance this year in the Champions League.
I agree with that.
Honestly, I think in a one-on-one match against, I'm not going to say against anyone because I think Bayern would blow us away. But I think we can score against anyone. That's the point I'm trying to make. We can score against anyone. It's the defensive side, and this is why I want someone like Allegri so much, because I honestly think even if we had Allegri for 2 seasons, flawless 2, the manager that comes in after Allegri, that team can now defend. That team can now. Do you get where I'm coming from?
That's a fair point.
That team will now have a structure in how they play. That team will now have this and now have that. So then, if you as a manager then want to come in, so say I've managed the team, I've given it the structure, I've done my thing.
Yeah.
You as a manager now, you come in flawless. You say, right, you man can defend now. Right, I now want to work on the midfield. Boom, you work on the midfield, you get the midfield rolling. Boom, your time's up. Jan comes in now, and Jan's like, right, I'm all about attacking. And then boom, right. This is how teams get sorted, because this is like what you see when Pep came in to Barcelona.
I was just going to say about City, because we had Mancini, who was very defensive, obviously being Italian. Yes. Our defense, like under Pellegrini, we almost had a season where it was like, if you score 3, we're scoring 4. I was never concerned unless City were 4-0 down. I'm thinking we're winning this or we're coming back. Now, like the way we're playing at the moment, if someone scores 2, we're out of the game. But like normally, you know, under that, because we had that defensive thing where even under Pellegrini, where we weren't as great defensively, we still had that, okay, we're going to go out and just score more than you. Do you know what I mean? So I get it. I think defenses win your leagues, innit? Overall.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
100%.
Attack it, anyone can score a goal, a set piece, an own goal, a penalty. Do you know what I mean? You can get goals from very little football. You know, we've in the past played against teams. If you look at City's stats, most people's first shot against us is like a goal. Do you know what I mean? So like people are still in the game. That's why people will play City now and think we can win. It's not because they're better than City. It's because they know if they get a goal, no matter how they get it, they're in the game. It's, you know, and we're not guaranteed to go and score 4 or 5 like we were before. So I don't know, but I think you could do with a defensive, as long as he's, because I know Maya was saying it about Tottenham. She was saying that she liked the way they played better under Poch because they played better football. But Mourinho's come in, they've been sorted out defensively, and they look like they're going to go and win something. So it's, even though the football's not exciting, they look like they can win something now, which is what you need. And I think United need that as well.
And that is my worry about Poch. Because if Jose can take what you've done and make it look better, I'm worried about that. I'm very, very worried about that, because then there's something wrong. You get what I'm saying? There's something fundamentally wrong, because we all know what my man did when he was there at us, fam. Like, so I don't know. But it's one of them, innit? It's one of them. But for me, I honestly think, all right, I'll put it to you like this. You see, if Van Gaal, sorry, I will give Van Gaal his credit. Van Gaal did leave us something. Van Gaal left us. You know what I think Van Gaal did? Van Gaal reminded us about youth. He reminded us about our academy. We brought in the Rashfords, the Fosu Mensahs, the Lingards became more prominent. Martial was bought, but obviously he was given a chance. You know what I mean? I think it wasn't, I don't know if it, no, actually, I know what it is. It's because he's Dutch. The Dutch are just tuned in like that with the young players.
Very structured. That's what that's what he brought back. He brought back, like, whether you liked how he played or you didn't like how he played, what Van Gaal had was structure. We knew how we was going to play. Yes, it was boring. It was tedious at times. Shout out to my guy Nuruddin. He always says Van Gaal brought back Snake, you get me, to OT. But at least it was structured. I don't mind a manager having a plan, even if it's not a greatest plan, because then at least I'm like, you're thinking, you have an idea. Yes. Like, you're implementing something. Whether I like it or not, implement something. You know what I'm saying? Van Gaal implemented something. And back to Ollie, that's my biggest issue is, what are you implementing? What do you man do on the training? I really would love to go to OT and see what you man do on a training.
One sec though. Here's my thing. This is where I was getting, and this marries in with what you've just said. Van Gaal brought in something, yeah. Mourinho bulldozed it. Yeah. And yeah, he did, bro. You know that. Literally, think about it. We had Martial doing good, Rashford doing good. My man went, all right, Ibrahimovic, and you know what I'm saying? And just took them both out of the team. Just like that. Boom, boom. Gone.
Took man's number when Ibrahimovic came in as well. And back to City. Pep's like that. Like, you know what Pep's style is. You can see it instantly in it. This is what I'm saying. You can see straight away. Like, even I even take it this. People criticize him a lot. Arteta, yeah, we call him the Papa Pulis and give jokes. You can see the difference he made on Arsenal in 2 weeks. Whether you like it or whether you don't, whether you're Papa Pulis in or Papa Pulis out. I'm just saying you can see what he's done. Like, that's all I'm asking for is show me how you start. How do I play Football Manager and have a style? And you're a big manager on millions of pounds a year and don't have a style. I play FIFA. It's a style. I wish Tox was here. Me and Tox have played FIFA many a time. He can see my formation and know, oh, that's a flawless formation. That's my style. That's how I set up. Same way all the time. So it's like, how can you not? Like, this is what befuddles me. And you man are paid top dollar to deal with this.
But here's the thing. So
you just I don't know. I think with Ale, like, it's with Pep, what he does is he has a style and he doesn't care what you say. He is keeping that style. Like, there's been games before where City fans are just like, look, ain't going to work today. Just defend. But he won't do it. Yeah. And to be fair to him, he's been successful doing it. And they did say that he'd come to the league, he would never win it. You ain't going to win the league when you play out from the back and you don't defend and you don't practice defending and all that. And he went and won it back to back. So, yeah, I think you just need someone in with a plan. Poch will have a plan. You know, someone says in the comments that stop being jealous, but I'm not jealous. I think Poch is a great manager because he said we're stuck with Pep. Personally, I like Pep for City. I like the football that he plays. I like what he's done. I like the fact that he's improved players. Our fans aren't as on his case as other fans would be. Some fans of teams want them to go out and win the Champions League every year. Like, our fans, as long as he's winning something, you know, I waited 20 years to see us lift the trophy. Do you know what I mean? I'm not too fussed. We only won 8 trophies in 4 years. I'm not too fussed. Obviously, yes, City should be winning every year. And I will be annoyed if we win nothing this season because I think we're good enough to win something. We should definitely be challenging for the league as well. So, you know, it will be an unsuccessful season if we come out with nothing. But I can see, like, the 17-18 season where he didn't win anything. Sorry, 16-17, when he didn't win anything. You could see what he was trying to do and it just wasn't working. And then when it clicked, it really clicked and we were amazing. And then obviously this season, it seems to be a little bit of like a rebuilding kind of thing because we've had a lot of our players go, you know, the key players like your companies, your David Silvas. So it's going to take us a little bit of time, but I think Pep can do it. People say he's never rebuilt. Yes, he hasn't because he's never stayed anywhere long enough. Now people are saying, oh, you stuck with him for another 2 years. No, this is his chance to prove that he can do what people are saying he can't. So it's either going to work or it's not. But I think he's shown so far that he can bring people in like Torres, like Diaz. These are young players that if they click, they'd be at City for another 7-8 years, if not more. 100%. Do you know what I mean? So this could be a long-term City team if it works. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of our players that he's in are young. Yeah, so I think he's already doing it, but we'll see what happens.
Nah, 100. I honestly think if he turns it around, now, and fights off Liverpool and wins you like another 2 leagues in the next 4 years, he goes down as an absolute legend because of the way he's been doubted, and then he would come back to the table. Like, literally, if Pep comes back to being Pep, what we know, and because one thing I'll say about Pep, when Pep wins, it's in style. Like, you have to just admire in it. Like, you cannot hate. See the hate what Liverpool received. You can't do that with Thingy because it's just fully justified. Like, you can't hate on Pep when Pep gets into that mode because that is what everyone wants to see from football. Like, Pep will win it in style and his whole charisma and everything, and the way he'll have his players. It's like a whole package with Pep. I'll give him his props for that. If Pep really does fight off Liverpool, he goes down as an absolute legend. He could throw his name in the hat as being the best manager ever at club level. He could throw his name in the hat. Not saying he will be, but he could throw his name in the hat because he would have literally battled off the most serious challenger like he's ever had in his career. Like, don't get me wrong, this is someone who's battled off Jose Mourinho Real Madrid with like fully on top Ronaldo. You know what I'm saying? If he battles off Liverpool again, that's a bigger achievement because it's a lesser team. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And don't get me, that's no disrespect to Man City, but we know that. You know what I mean, innit? We know what that Barcelona team was. What he had, that was just next level. Everything, like every position.
Even with the Champions League, like for me, like City, I'm not saying we can't win it, but it's something that we haven't done before. So even if he brings that to City, there's nothing that I can say negative against Pep because that's his only downfall at the moment, that he's not done well in the Champions League. But the way I see Pep, I think it's almost all or nothing. I think if he gets to a final, he doesn't lose finals. So even though I always say like a lot of teams lose a final before they win one, I don't know if Pep will do that. I think City will probably win it when we least expect it. I think right now the pressure's on. We're expected to win it. I don't know if we'll win it now. I think we'll win it when everyone goes, they're never going to win it. And then we'll go out and win it. So that is City. That's typical City. You know what I mean? So if we have a terrible season this year in the league, we're more likely to win the Champions League just based off the way we are. And if you look at the teams in the past, like I think Liverpool, not obviously when they won it this time, but the last time they won it, they weren't doing all that in the league. Chelsea, they had a poor season the year they won it. So I think right now, because the pressure's on and we're expected to do it, I don't know if we will. But if he wins that for City, that is big. Because City really, as much as we should be winning it and should be in that conversation, we haven't proven that we can. So if he can do that, you know, that's for me would be you can't doubt him after that, I don't think. You know,
yeah, it's one of the because football is so what have you done for me lately? People will always people will always doubt you because that's what it is. If football is a what have you done for me lately sport, and it's like people are looking at Pep and me and like, are you done? I wait for over a period of time because you mentioned it already. One of you mentioned it in terms of if Pep comes back, I think it was JV. And all the doubters have to shut up. It's kind of like how I think people are looking at Mourinho, like because Mourinho's been doubted, myself included, but Mourinho's had a 5-year period where he's not won a major trophy. So I'm looking at it like I think you're done at the top level. I believe Spurs will fall off. Pep, that's why obviously it's hilarious to call him fraudiola, etc. Bants. But all jokes aside, we'll soon find out. And you made a great point, Jan, when you said people say he's not rebuilt, but he's never been at a club long enough, so we don't know yet.
It's not like he tried and he failed. If he tried and failed, I'd be like, yeah, he failed last time, but he hasn't done it. And, you know, people are saying, oh, you've got him for another 2 years. We need stability. Football clubs need stability. I think that's part of the problem with Man United because you've had managers in and out. These players don't know if he's going to be the manager next year. If you know, like our players now know Pep is their manager next year. If they don't perform, they could be out of the club. Do you know what I mean? Whereas your players, if we don't perform, Ollie will get sacked, and then the next manager might love me, and then I'll start every week. So you need that stability. So even if Pep wins nothing for the next 2 years, that stability is there. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously he will be sacked if he wins nothing. Or I don't even think he'll get sacked. I think he'll leave. Do you know what I mean? And then if he leaves, we'll have to look at the next person, which might be Poch. You know, we don't know. But I think
Poch goes into you. I think he's successful as well. I think he's
well, that's what City like lining people up. So maybe that's why he's not rushing into work. Who knows? But I don't think he's gonna not have a job for 2 years waiting for Pep. I can't see that. So I think he's probably not lined up for City. But if we did want him, we would probably be saying to him from now, okay, you need to come in this year. City will have a plan because we did that with Pep. So I don't know.
Do you know what it is? This is where I think. Whoever comes into, whoever City's next manager, this is where they will be sorted because they've got a structure there to work off. Do you know what I mean? And this is the thing where what I think is hampered United so much. Like literally every new manager who starts, you're starting fully from scratch. Do you get what I mean? You start in the whole thing.
That's a fair point.
Do you get what I mean?
That's one thing I give for, though. I think even if whoever comes in next is not starting from scratch for the first time.
That's what I'm saying. All right then.
From scratch. So I always give Oli.
Yeah. I'll put it to you like this. I don't think, and I honestly, I mean this, and this is where I give him so much credit. I don't think there's many managers in world football who could have came in after Jose Mourinho. And I honestly mean that. I mean the dressing room, the squad, everything. I don't think there's many managers who could have came in. I think the one thing which did Oli so well is the fact he had the legendary status at the club, and that helped him. That gave him time. I think any manager came in with a big name after that Mourinho, wow, you would have been under some serious pressure because so much needed to be done. And that's why I give Oli his props, you know. Like he's done in a short space of time he's been there, he's done a lot, you know. He has actually done a lot, bro. Like you have to really deep the fact man had like
here's the thing. I like
Valencia's and Ashley Young's still playing.
Yeah, I like his additions though. That's one thing I always give Oli credit for is I like the additions he has made to the squad. Even I know you're not the biggest, even Dan James, who I know you're not the biggest fan of. I don't mind the additions he's made to the squad. But yeah, obviously this is the GyalDem City meets ManDem United podcast. So any Manchester City or Manchester United or both questions you want to ask now, and we're going to get to the comments, people, because we know you lot, we appreciate all the support. Let us know before we close out the show. If you Ahmed, write the questions again, man. Relax, man. You man always just write the question again.
I'm gonna dip, bro.
All right, bless JV.
Yeah, I've been on an hour longer than I should have.
Yeah, I know you stayed on. Ask the questions again, man. Jesus, it's not that deep.
Do you want me to go up?
Let's go. Nobody can ask the questions again, innit? Yo, there's free mics going on, people. You can see this conversation happening. Just write the question again. It's really not that deep. You know what I'm saying? If we miss the questions, it's not on purpose.
Yeah,
it's really not on purpose.
When you jump from one subject to another, it's hard to like go back and start answering.
If you really want to ask the question again, innit? It's not that deep in that. You know what I'm saying? You can write the question before we scroll up and pick them out. So if you want to ask the questions again. It's not that deep. It's really not that deep. Jesus, man. We're not doing it on purpose, innit? We got love for everybody who supports. You know this. Hear me? Everybody who watches this live or watching this back, you know. Nothing but love. Oh yeah, the subs keep going up as well. We're now under 50 away from 1,500 on the Sarcasm City YouTube. So please make sure if you're watching right now, you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Also like it. Also available in audio only platforms. So all the podcasts from this week, apart from the ManDem United podcast on Thursday, the audio was bad. But yeah, you can get it on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever else you listen to podcasts. All right, Lloyd Maestro says, who will finish higher this season, City or United? I'll let you answer first. In the league, yeah.
If obviously. It's not City, then that's bad for us. Yeah, I think it has to be City. I think, to be honest, like at the beginning of the season, I said that my expectations were that we win the league. And it still is my expectation. I just thought the way the season was going, it looked like another Leicester kind of season. So I didn't know if one of the big clubs was going to win it. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I was saying I'm not sure. You know, it seems like one of them seasons. But yeah, I would expect City to win. And if they don't win, it will be probably because we're going to focus on the Champions League. That's the only reason why. Do you know what I mean? Because with Liverpool's injuries, I didn't think Liverpool would go back-to-back anyway. Simply because I've always said the depth of their team, like it's difficult. Like we did our first season, I think without De Bruyne? Or the first season was with De Bruyne. And the second season we did it without De Bruyne. And that season, you know, we really fought to win that league. And obviously, I think we had 14 wins at the end in a row to beat Liverpool to it. So the second season was a lot harder than the first for City. And a lot of people say it was more impressive because the 100-point season, we ran away with it. That Liverpool season where it was toe-and-toe with Liverpool, that was a more impressive season for City in terms of what it took to win the league, because we had strong contenders in Liverpool. You know what I mean? Liverpool got, what, 98 points and didn't win the league. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
still... So, yeah, so my expectations for City are always high. I saw Ahmed's comment, which says...
Yeah, big up Ahmed, innit? Big up, I know what to say.
It's not that we got low standards. It's just we're not going to push a manager out the club after a year where he's been unsuccessful when he's won 8 trophies in 4 years. Like, do you know what I mean? It's mad. I wouldn't say that's not failure for any club. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea haven't won 8 trophies in the last 4 years. Liverpool haven't won 8 trophies in the last 4 years. There is no team that have won more trophies than City in the past couple of years. So, no, I wouldn't want Pep out. And, you know, I have to back him for now. If he goes the next 2 years, so he doesn't win nothing this season, he doesn't win anything next season, then, yeah, we'll be looking at getting someone else in, because a club like City shouldn't be going trophyless, do you know what I mean, for seasons after seasons, do you know what I mean? But, yeah, I don't know. I think it's not that our standards are low. It's just I don't think we put the pressure. I think this year, yes, we should be challenging. We haven't started that well, so we'll have to see. You know, it's all going to be probably in the head-to-heads now for us to get back to where we need to be. But there's no reason why, if we stay fit, if our squad stays fit, or most of our squad stay fit, there should be no reason why we're not challenging, or if not winning it. So, yeah, I'd expect to finish first or second.
I agree with the extent in terms of, yes, with Ahmed saying that Liverpool are full of injuries, they're the only rivals you should be challenging. But if I'm a City fan and we don't win the league, I'm not going to be up in arms about City not winning the league, considering the previous success. That's what gives managers time for me. It's like, if you have previous successes, I'm like, okay, you'll get this right. So that's why, like I said, for instance, if an Allegri came in and it wasn't going well, or a Poch came in and it wasn't going well, it's like, I've seen you work before. Let's do it. That's why Klopp got time at Liverpool. That's why after losing 4 finals, they still give him time. So it's kind of like, yeah, that's what it is. But who do I think will finish higher? City, I think will finish higher. I think they have a better team, better squad, and a better manager. And eventually, their consistency over a 38-game period will have them finish it, especially if Aguero stays fit. Definitely.
You know what it is as well? With time and stuff, like, if Klopp doesn't win anything this year, he's not going nowhere. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just a bad season for Liverpool. Doesn't mean it's a bad season even for Klopp, because he's doing what he needs to do with what he's got. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, the first season when Pep came in, you could see what he was trying to do, and he didn't really have the players to kind of do what he needed to do. Yes, we had decent players. Yes, we had a decent spine, but the players outside of that spine weren't really all that. We had a lot of aging players. You know, if you look at the team that Klopp had when he took over, it's unrecognisable to what it is now. Only James Milner survived. Everyone else doesn't play for Liverpool anymore. And then at City, we've got the spine that's now leaving, but the spine was still there. Everyone else, like Clichy, I mean, them sort of players, they just left. So I think we could see what he was doing, and that's why he got given time. And then he went, it clicked, and he got, you know, he got back-to-back wins. And then now, like, even last season, people say it was a terrible season for us. Yes, it wasn't a great season for us. I think we could have done better. But we still came out with a Community Shield and a Carabao Cup, and that's a terrible season. Do you know what I mean? So if you're winning,
you've been set. You know
what I mean? Then I think the standards at City are quite high, because that was an unsuccessful season for us. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And we still came out with silverware.
I don't think you can have. I don't think in today's day and age, when you're at the top level, you can have. When you start having 2 to 3 bad seasons in a row, that's when the issue lies. But when you have one, it's kind of like, certain fans want success orders. They don't work like that, innit? So like I'm saying, and if United, say for instance, Allegri came in and United was successful and won a Premier League, the next season, if he didn't win the Premier League or the Champions League, I wouldn't be screaming Allegri. I'd be like, all right. To me, like I said, success buys you time. That's what that is, isn't it? With everything, it buys you time. So I'm like, you getting comments here, you know what I'm saying? Big up Yannicka, beautiful lady, hair looks lovely. That's from Jay. Christian Lutaya says, flawless with Danny Ings out. Who do you think we should look out for? Southampton's danger man of tomorrow. None of them fear me. It's only Ings, to be honest. I don't fear anybody. You got Ward-Prowse, who's good from set pieces, Redmond, but I don't fear Southampton. There's no one I look at and be like, We need to watch him. We need to go there and impose our game on them. Yeah, me. That's what we should treat Southampton like. They're Southampton. Rayan says, I think Hasselhout. Who is it? How do you even say his name? Is it Hasselhout? Hasselhout. As Saeed says, Hasselhout is. I'm going with my Don Saeed. Big up Saeed. I think Hasselhout would be a good option for United. Very good coach. I would have been mad at it. I said this previously, Ryan, when I said I think any manager of any form of caliber gets a tune out of this team. Would he be my first choice? No, but I think he does better than Ollie. Same way I use Brendan Rodgers in that example. Cafu says Manchester United are going to win the league. We will bounce back stronger. Come on, United. We have the teams going in the right direction. Just playing squad, I would say.
The league, then maybe.
Yeah, the playing squad. The playing squad.
You never know that this season.
Yeah, Hasselhout, man. That's what I'm calling him, man. Hasselhout.
Yeah, Ahmed says, "Oh, he meant why we don't expect." Do you know what? We do expect to win the league. But I think
you wouldn't want Pep out if he doesn't win the league.
Yeah. I think what it is like obviously every season City go to win the league. Like that is the aim. I'd say for now, player-wise, the Champions League is what they really, really want. So even though yes, they want to win the league, they've done it. Some of them players have done it 4 times. I'm not saying they wouldn't do it again, but it's not on the high list of priorities. It's kind of like Liverpool last season. Did they want to win the Champions League back to back? Yes, they did. But what did they want more, the league or the Champions League? It was the league, and that's why they went out all full throttle for the league, and they won it. Do you know what I mean? If they didn't win the league last year, it'd be the same this year. Do you know what I mean? So I think City, if we win the Champions League, it's a bit easier because it takes the pressure off, and then we can focus on everything and just hope that we win something. But I think the players really want to win the Champions League. I would hope that City would go for both, but I know what we're like, and it doesn't seem to be like that. I think we do better when we go for everything. Like that season where we won 4 trophies, we were better that season.
I think that's the way I go forward with, because I think form and momentum is not something you can switch on or switch off no matter what team you are. That's form so I'm like, go in for all trophies, and then say you're in the semi-finals of the Champions League, and then you're coming towards the back end of the league. That's when you start. I've seen Fergie do this where he'd prioritize stuff, and then you might see a weakened side, say in a game in the FA Cup or a home game or something. But you should be in for all trophies. This is why you have a 25-man, 30-man squad. It's to deal with all this. But of course, you prioritize on what you're trying to win and stuff like that. Ryan says, flawless. Would Bielsa be a good option for United, ignoring the Leeds connection? Yeah, I don't really fussed about the Leeds connection. It's like, would you be successful? Yeah, because it seems, look at the football he has Leeds playing. So imagine you give him the quality that Manchester United have, what he could do with that team. So it's kind of like, it's definitely, he would be an option. Yeah, would he be in my top 3? No. But if United were to get him, I wouldn't be mad. That sounds like a broke record. Give me any manager with any substance, backing up, and I'm for that. You know what I'm saying? So this is why when people criticize Poch, I'm like, normally when people criticize Poch and I ask him who they want, I will take their manager. Like I know JV who was on, he wants Allegri. If United signed Allegri, happy days. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, Hasselhout, let me get that in there. I still ain't gotten over that Atletico game we lost last year. Oh, that was great. The one at home. Oh, that was fantastic. I was chilling. Oh, it's great. I remember all Liverpool's defeats. You know what I'm saying? Like all my people say the Manchester United game. I'm like, any victory at Anfield, innit? Any victory at Anfield. Like I can list our victories at Anfield. Like I remember, so enjoy it. Like when one man Anfield into one field. Say that again.
So can I? I can count ours on one hand.
Oh yeah, you used to have a terrible record there.
Yeah, 2002 Anelka.
Yeah, Anelka scored, innit? Yeah. See that? Yeah, Anelka in that is a mazza. But yeah, I think that's coming to a close of the show. I hope you lot enjoyed it. JV's return. You got the lovely Yan City here.
Yes, comments. There was loads of comments, and because we're chatting, it's hard to. Normally, I'd be like clicking on them all, but big up everyone that shouted us out anyway.
Big up Anas, yo. Big up everyone who's supporting, because you lot really are. Like I said, we're under 50 away now from 1,500 subs on the Sarcasm City YouTube. So please, like I said, if you're listening audio, make sure you go SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes. Make sure you follow Yan City across all platforms. Follow JV across all platforms. Follow myself across all platforms. And follow Sarcasm City across all platforms. You know what I'm saying? Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Yan City, since this is your show, I'll let you take us out.
Okay, thanks for tuning in, everyone. And we'll see you next week. I don't know what time it'll be. Hopefully in the morning. And I should be joined by Rose again. So it'll probably be the morning.
There
so
you
next
go.
morning. So
there you go.
We also have me and Flawless and AV8 who was in the comments. We have a show on Sundays straight after the Sarcasm City podcast. So make sure you tune in for that at 7. And then at 8 o'clock, we've got a question and answer. So any questions you've got that we might have missed today or whatever, take it over to that show and we'll answer it there.
Because it's any sporting questions, the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A. So you can ask any team, any team, any sport, past or present. Like that's what that show is for. Is because you lot never run out of bars. Shah and us. If I did, there's a couple people who I had blocked by accident on the YouTube. So if you are blocked, just send me a message. You know what I'm saying? Because when you click on it, it might move it up when the laptop's moving slow. But yeah, we'll be back tonight. We're back tonight actually. The Talk About It Network special. 9:30, I'm gonna say 9:30, 10 o'clock. The Talk About It Network special. So it's all the podcasts that are on the Talk About It Network. So you got Sarcasm City, which is myself, Tox and JV, Pod of Mercy, which is my G Longhead Linda, and the Red Lion Gang, which is Nick, Mike, and Alan. Everybody's gonna be. I'm gonna be waved anyway. I got my Apple JD on deck. So I'm gonna be mashed up in it. I'm gonna be sipping before I probably even get on the show in it. So by the time I want to say 10 o'clock actually, yes, 10 o'clock it will be. So by the time we get to the show, I'm gonna be waved in it. So if you want to see me waved, this is your chance in it because you have been asking me to do this in it. So there you go. You get me? You ask, we create the content. You feel me? But yeah, sorry, Yan. I'll let you take us out. I'll let you say bye to the people then.
So yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next week.